develop policies that support innovation in the informal sector. So you want confluence of universities, councils, and governments doing and pushing for programs in this area. Next. And the program goals are knowledge generation through systemic research on innovation in the informal sector and linkages with the formal sector to find out how to transform these marginal innovative activities into sustainable livelihoods. So work with what they have at the level of informal sector and build it up. This is also field building by developing new concepts, methodologies, frameworks, indicators, and research approaches on innovation that lead to inclusive development. And in these next 2 days, we will push the envelope, try to do as much more in this area of developing methodologies and frameworks as we can. Capacity building through peer exchanges and global collaboration within research networks, in particular to build Southern researcher leadership in the field. Okay, and we are the South. And our friend from India, we are trying to get this collaboration going at the very, very early stage. Policy influence by providing evidence of how policies, regulation, and institutions, such as intellectual property rights, become incentives and or bottlenecks for innovation within the informal sector. And this is where the research councils play a good part. By the way, we have Dr. Cecil Reyes, I think here. Where's Cecil? Over there. So she is the project leader for the part on the research councils for our project unit Southeast Asia. Research focus. Innovative activities in the informal sector in areas essential to livelihoods, including natural resources, cultural activities, and services. I think this is the area that I was talking about, where IDRC is still looking for project proposals. Natural resources, cultural industries, and services. How can you promote inclusive development in these areas? Also, innovation and women in the informal sector, in particular self-employed women entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and women-led social collectives in the informal sector that innovate to improve livelihoods. And the role of intermediaries as bridging agents, brokers, and enablers of knowledge and technology transfers for sustainable livelihoods in the informal sector. Okay, so those are the main points. Of course, LEOC would have been able to say a lot more about this project, but those are the key ideas. So we are really a small project in a large, increasingly larger field. And when you bring in mega cities and when you bring in global links and Asia links, it becomes really a larger interlocking set of projects that are directed towards inclusive development. Okay, so that's the early part. And now we will go into
your part.
My part.
Yes, because I think to sum up what the program is trying to do, as I mentioned earlier, that IDRC as a donor, a research donor, is shifting its focus from sort of the rich West model of innovation systems to something that will directly helping development, however you define it, of people in developing countries. And they see that universities and research councils are important intermediaries that will help facilitate this sort of process of inclusive development. So that's sort of the general framework of the IDRC. And Doi is going to show more details in terms of how this project itself will do that role. The roles of universities and research councils as intermediaries for inclusive development.
Okay, so we have an innovative way of making sure that we keep within time here.
That's wonderful because that's supposed to be my role, to keep this time. But that's great. I don't have to do anything.
Yes, so it's really a tracking device. So you face yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a few perspectives on how we look at universities and councils as intermediaries. But I thought part of this presentation should mirror back to you some of the ideas that you presented in your concept notes. And we are so happy that so many of the participants really wrote concept notes in answer to the questions that we gave. And while you saw only the ones that you had, of course, on Basecamp and Horizon, you already saw the contributions of the others. But we tried to put them together and match them with our initial conception of the situation of universities and research councils. Okay, next. Okay, so we always go back to this definition because this is the definition that so far IDRC has of what IID is. It does not mean, I think, that it's going to stay like that because for a time they thought that we were dealing with the informal sector, but now they prefer the term informal settings, right? Informal settings. But IID is understood as innovation that reduces poverty and enables as many groups of people, especially the poor and vulnerable, to participate in decision making, create and actualize opportunities, and share the benefits of development. Okay. And research supported by IBOP Asia. IBOP means innovations at the base of the pyramid. It's not for the base of the pyramid, at the base of the pyramid. So it really includes the partner communities and sectors. Now this research, which we were involved in over the past 3 years, showed that key to IID is the role of intermediaries that enable poor communities through knowledge and skills and connect them to formal institutions and markets to gain access to technologies, products, and services. Next, we have a diagram that shows, well, you can talk about direct intermediaries, national and local government units, private firms, enterprises, NGOs. Those are the more directly mandated to help promote development at the base of the pyramid. And so they link formal economy and the informal economy. And we were saying that maybe there are support intermediaries, which are those that catalyze existing and new knowledge and support new capacity and competency building in innovation among direct beneficiaries in the formal and informal economy. So these are like infrastructure or supporting or maybe project management office type of activities for supporting direct intermediaries. And here we have from the paper of Howells, just looking at the literature, and we find that there are so many types of intermediaries, and there are different concepts all the way, and there's a focus on structures as well as processes. Okay, we will not go into that, just to say that there is a lot. And if you look at the literature that was reviewed by Howells, again, you see that there is a lot of different notions here that are not just cross-referenced and linked together. So you're talking about innovation research, systems of innovation, research into service organizations. Okay, next.